Hello, hello. It's Dr. Pam here. Welcome to Wellness Wednesday. Tonight, I will be talking about COVID-19 and stress. And so what's today? Today is April 15th. Oh, it's the old tax day, but not this year. So it's April 15th. And I am Dr. Pam Middleton, your virtual holistic physician and women's well-being coach. Through my books, online course, and telemedicine services, I help families achieve and maintain health and wellness through inside-out healing. So tonight, I want to talk to you about stress and COVID-19 because this has been going on for a while now. Hello there. Say hi so I can see who it is. I see some people have joined me. This has been going on for a while now, so I know a lot of people are stressed. You're hearing about people who are committing suicide. This is a very stressful time, so I just wanted to talk about. Hey Troy, how are you? I want to talk about something that's really important, which is, getting help for people who are suffering from depression and who are like really stressed out. And the other thing that you will hear a lot, and I say it all the time, is stay home, right? However, there's a caveat to that. If you are in a household that is not safe, like if you're in a household with domestic violence, then obviously it's not safe for you to stay home. And in your case, it will be better for you to leave than to stay in that environment, even if it means a possible exposure to COVID. And so I'm going to tonight give you some resources that you can have available. So first of all, one of the places that I always advise everybody to go to is coronavirus.gov. So www.coronavirus.gov. Now, if you go to coronavirus.gov, and I have it pulled up so I can tell you exactly how to navigate it, scroll down to where it says specific resources for, and they have one that's for households. So if you click on the specific resources for household, there will be a section. Why is my computer so slow? Sorry about this, guys. Oh, wait a minute. I know why, because I'm not on the internet. Sorry. Give me a minute. Okay, but if you scroll down to the section about households, then there is a section that, let me see what it says. There's a household checklist section, but you can actually scroll down to stress and coping. Okay, so under stress and coping, it will give you information about, how to deal with the stressful situations that you're dealing with, but it also gives you some good numbers. So it gives you the disaster distress hotline, which is 1-800-985-5990. You can text talk with us to 66746. And also there is the National Domestic Violence Hotline. This is very important because a lot of people are now in those situations where they're going to be more susceptible to domestic violence. So domestic violence hotline is 800-799-7233. Once again, that's 800-799-7233. And all of these resources can be found at coronavirus.gov. Okay? All right. Hey, Marietta, you said it's the internet. Yes. That's another thing. It can be very stressful if you're like online all day or you're looking at TV all day and, all you're seeing are these reports about more people are dying. It is stressful, okay? So what you want to do is you want to unplug every day. Take some time out, whatever. You can decide that, okay, at the beginning of the day, I'm just, before I look at anything, I'm going to meditate, pray, whatever you do to calm your mind, do that. toward the end of the day, it's really, really important what we call good sleep hygiene. So if you are looking at TV, you don't want to be looking at TV or doing screen time like an hour before you go to bed, especially if you're a person whose brain just kind of keeps on going and you're like, I can't sleep. My brain is still going. You've got to decrease the input that you're getting right before bedtime, because when you're looking at the computer or the TV, it's exciting. It's sending like these excitatory messages to your brain, and you don't want that. You need to relax. So you want to relax. So what's really good is if your bedroom can be your sanctuary, where there's either no TV there or a certain amount of time before bed TV goes off, and it really becomes a sanctuary where maybe you get in bed and you journal, or you read, or you just meditate, pray, do something other than putting all of this negative stuff in your head right before you go to bed. And one of the worst things you can do, and I know that a lot of people say, oh, I go to sleep with the TV on, but if you've got that TV on, whatever's going on that TV is getting into your subconscious. So if you left your TV on, the news station or CNN or whatever they're talking about all night is going into your subconscious. And that could be another reason that it's going to make you stressed out, because your nervous system is not getting a break. You need a break. It needs to totally shut down. Okay. Now, Michaela says, let's see, she heard on the radio station that we should be wearing protective goggles when going out as well. Is this true? Sounds crazy to me. Okay. This is the deal, Michaela. The only way to protect yourself against COVID is to have all of your mucous membranes covered, and they have to be covered with something that's going to keep the virus out. So if you're running out and you've got on a homemade cotton face mask and some goggles, that's not going to protect you against COVID, okay? Because what the whole rationale behind lay people now wearing the mask is to protect other people from you. So like I'm talking to you now, they're little particles that are coming out of my mouth, okay? And so little droplets. And those droplets, if I'm positive and don't realize that I'm COVID positive, then those droplets are in the air, and anybody else who comes into my space can actually get exposed to those droplets. So if you're out shopping, or if I'm out shopping and I have on this mask, then that's going to decrease some of those droplets from getting out there in the air. It, however, is not going to protect me from COVID. If it really is out there, I can still get it, okay? So that's why all the medical people wear the special PPEs where they have like the N95 mask and they have a face shield. So that's where the whole goggle thing comes in handy, okay? So wearing protective goggles will help you if you also have on all of the other stuff. But I can tell you from a medical perspective, if you're just out going to the grocery store with like an N95 mask on and protective goggles, and a healthcare person sees you who knows that in their facility, their healthcare workers do not have the proper PPE, they're not going to take very kindly to you. I'm just going to be honest about that, okay? Because we do still have first line people who are working without the protection that they really need. So for those of us who are not on the front lines right now, you're just going out to the grocery store, just run out to the grocery store, come home. You put on your regular mask. If you want to wear your goggles, fine. But like I told you, that's not going to protect you from the virus. Sorry. Okay. So, what else was I talking about? Oh, I was getting back to, the stress. So what else can you do to de-stress? Exercise is good, just, doing something, even if you take a walk, depending on where you live. I'm not telling you to go out and take a walk around a lot of people, okay? But if you're in an environment where you can get out and you can walk without encountering a lot of people, you can do that. You're welcome, Michaela. Now, this is the other thing. There are some people who will tell you just don't go outside, and the reason they say that is because remember when I was talking about the little droplets, right? Well, the heavier droplets, like anything that you can actually see come out of my mouth, is heavy. It's going to just drop down to the ground, right? But little things, like if we had a special camera right now, as I'm talking, you would see little particles coming out. And those little particles will tend to kind of hang in the air. So those particles can hang around up to 3 hours. So that means that if I'm just, having a conversation, now let's just say I'm just out and maybe I sneeze and nobody's around, so maybe I don't cover my nose. I just sneeze because there's nobody around. All these little minute particles are in the air. They can hang out there for up to 3 hours. So if you come cruising by 2 hours later, you theoretically can breathe that in, or gets, your mucous membranes, you can actually get infected that way. Now, that's not like extremely common, but if you're a germaphobe, then yeah, you're going to be like, I'm just not going out. Because I can roll into anything. I mean, if somebody's been in the elevator and they leave and you come in and some particles are in the air, once again, you can be exposed. So that's why everybody keeps on saying to stay home. Okay. Now, and saying that, I want to clarify something also as I'm saying stay home. Right now you're hearing talk about, okay, they're looking at opening up the country again. How are they going to do it? The thing that I think a lot of people don't understand is, remember when this all started and the stay-at-home orders went into effect, the purpose behind that was to flatten the curve. What that meant was that we wanted to decrease the amount of people who would get sick at the same time so as not to overwhelm the medical system. Now, the one thing that you have to know is that most people, over 80% of the people, are going to not have any problems with this. I mean, there are people who have COVID who don't even realize they have it, or who have had it and they don't even realize they have had it. There are people who are totally asymptomatic, or people who have very mild symptoms. The symptoms are just all over the place now. It's like every day there's something new. So, you can go from somebody who has no symptoms to obviously somebody who is having serious difficulty breathing and ends up on a ventilator. All right. So originally you were told that the symptoms were fever, cough, and shortness of breath. And that can still be true. However, some people may just have loss of taste and smell. Like I know someone who had loss of taste and smell and a mild headache. That was it. There are other people who said, well, I got extremely fatigued. I never had a fever though, but I was just like really, really tired. And, and depending on where you are, everybody's still not being tested because there's still not widespread testing available for everybody. And so what happens in a lot of places is if you don't meet the criteria for hospitalization, you're not going to get tested. Okay. And, the rationale for that, I guess, is that if you're a mild case, like if I've got COVID, if I've got like maybe some body aches and a fever, but I can still breathe pretty good, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I think I have COVID, let me go to the emergency room. They're going to assess me when they see that I'm not having any problems breathing and there's really nothing they can do for me. They're going to send me home and tell me to self-quarantine for 14 days. And depending on what state I'm in, they're probably not going to test me because testing me isn't going to make a difference. It's not like there's no treatment that they're going to give me because I'm positive. They're going to assume I'm positive, send me home, to quarantine for 14 days and do what they call supportive care. So that's another reason. Now, something else you want to remember, and I have to always remember to say this to people, is when in doubt about anything, first of all, call your doctor. Doctors are still available. They're still, most of them are still in their offices, or they're doing telemedicine visits. So even if they're there and they're not accepting patients walking through the door, they're doing the telemedicine visits. And some offices that do have like testing available will come out to the parking lot and maybe do a test for you in your car. Okay, so when in doubt, always call your doctor. But if there's something really severe going on, please do go to the emergency room. Okay, if you're having difficulty breathing, call 911. All right, we don't want people to stay home, because what's happening is that people are afraid to go to the emergency room now because nobody wants to be exposed. But, so even if you have something that's non-COVID related, if something's going on and you're really feeling bad, go to the emergency room, okay? Or at least call your doctor. Don't stay home and let things get so bad that nobody can help you, all right? And I got all off track because there was some... Oh, I was talking about the flattening the curve. So, what the flattening the curve is really going to do, it's not gonna stop. It's not like everybody's got to stay home until the virus is gone, because the virus is not going to be gone. It's like never going to be gone, just like the flu is never gone. It's going to be here, and it's probably going to be like cyclical. It'll come and go, okay? But what we're trying to do, and I think, what's been happening has worked, because in most areas now you're seeing that there are not spikes of cases. I mean, there are a few areas where there are some isolated, you're seeing some cases spike up, but generally across the country, everything is actually going pretty good. And, and if you talk to people who work in hospitals across the country, they're like empty. There's not a lot of people in the emergency room. The ER doctors are saying, hey, we're only seeing, true emergencies now, whereas that's not normally the case. So people are staying home, but like I said, some of the people who need to be there are also staying home. So don't be in that category. If you need to go in, go in. And if you're not in a place like New York or any like place where there's a lot of cases, chances are your ER is not going to be very busy right now anyway. Okay, so if you really feel like you need to go in, go in. And never feel like you have to make the decision as to what to do. Always you can call your doctor to figure out what you need to do if you're trying to figure it out from that perspective, where you're really not that sick, but you're like, well, should I see my doctor or should I just stay home? What do I do? Call. Always call. It does not hurt you to call. Okay? So getting back to this flattening the curve. So what a lot of people don't understand is that, yes, there will probably still be the same amount of cases, especially as people start to go back to work, but it's just that they won't all happen at the same time. So people are still going to be exposed, and obviously the best case scenario would be widespread testing so that people can be tested to see who may be an asymptomatic carrier, if we can get antibody testing to figure out who's already had it, who, has some type of immunity to it, and all those are things that haven't happened, can potentially happen, they're working on, we don't know. All right. So for now, yes, stay home, but know that eventually you're going to go back out again, and you are going to still be going out, and coronavirus is still going to be out there. Okay. So I just want to clarify that, because I think that that's a notion that people have, is that, well, okay, we got to eradicate this virus, or, we got to find a cure, or we got to get a vaccine. There will be no vaccine anytime soon. Okay. So just get that thought out of your head. So it's, it's not like there's going to be a vaccine ready for you next month. All right. And the treatment, there's really no treatment at this time. Everything is in the experimental stage. So like the hydroxychloroquine and the azithromycin is being used on certain populations of people. And, I don't know, from what I've heard from some of my colleagues who work in ICU, it's not working. And I heard from someone else earlier on another Facebook Live that they knew somebody who took it and they got better. But my question is, depending on the study, because if I'm positive for COVID, and let's say, Troy, you're positive for COVID, and you get the treatment and I don't get the treatment, and we both get better, well, did the treatment help you, or were you going to get better on your own anyway? So, that's something that I don't really know, how they're doing these studies now, and what's the I can't even think now. I guess it's too late. It's time for me to drink some more water and go to bed. But the control. Yeah, the controls. You got to have a good control so that you can figure out, like, was this going to happen anyway? So we really don't know. So what I'm telling everybody is, as far as I'm concerned, if you're not in a hospital setting, just do whatever your doctor is telling you to do. You need control groups. But if you're in a hospital setting, like a lot of the people who are getting these drug combinations are in the hospital setting where they can be monitored, because hydroxychloroquine can have side effects, devastating side effects for people who have underlying cardiac problems already, or it can, cause new cardiac problems. So that's something that's not to be taken lightly. It's not something that you want to be begging your doctor for. So, my thing is, allow your doctor to give you what they think you need based on what your symptoms are. Okay, and most times it's probably going to be nothing. They're going to tell you, okay, you can do something for your fever, maybe do Epsom salt baths, or take, acetaminophen. And for your cough, if you got a cough, you can take cough syrup. If you are congested, take a decongestant. It's just what we call supportive care. It's just, all whatever symptoms you have, you can do supportive care to make you feel better. All right. So do you guys have any questions about anything? Any questions? Any COVID-19 questions? Anything you've been dying to hear about that hopefully I do know about? And I know there's a slight delay. Okay. Well, it doesn't look like there are any questions, so I am going to bid you guys farewell on this Wellness Wednesday. Oh, I do have a gift for you, though. I talked about the importance of doing something and, maybe meditating, praying. Oh, I'm glad you thought it was informative, Troy. So I have a free gift for you. So I have a 10-minute mindfulness meditation. It's a guided meditation. If you go to bit.ly/Dr. Pam free gift, you can get that. And at the end of this broadcast, I'm going to actually put it in the chat, unless somebody can put it in the chat for me now. If somebody can put bit.ly/Dr. Pam free gift, that will actually give you will be able to get the free meditation. Okay, and if I don't see it in the chat, I'll go back later and add it to the chat. All right. So, yeah, good night, Troy. So, I am Dr. Pam Middleton, your virtual holistic physician and women's well-being coach. Through my books, programs, and services, I help families achieve and maintain health and wellness through inside-out healing. So, you guys stay safe and stay home. And, yeah, Marietta, I am doing well. Thank you. I am actually doing a meditation practice myself. I've been praying already, but I've done meditation in the past and I kind of got out of it. So now I'm back to doing my meditation practice. So yes, I'm doing okay. Thank you for asking. Okay, guys, stay safe and stay home. Bye-bye.